does it mean in your mind, as somebody who experienced that in your own community, for us to be here now and to see a conviction on all charges against this former police officer?
Joy, I want to tell you, my struggle against police abuse started many years ago. There was a woman named Eula Love who could not pay her gas bill. And they called the police out, and there was a confrontation, and they ended up shooting her down on her porch in front of her two girls. And I tangled with Daryl Gates, who was the police chief, who not only really did support and use the chokehold, but he had something called a battering ram that he tore down the doors. And I can remember when I was in the Head Start program and we talked about, the fire people and the police and all of the helpers and the services in your district. The Head Start kids said, the police are people who come to your house and knock down your door and pull your brother out and take him away. And so I have lived with this police abuse, with Black men in particular being targeted by the police, being made to lay on the ground in their best clothes, a spread eagle across a car. And I have fought this for many, many years. I've been engaged for many years. And you mentioned Rodney King. Yes, that was another special time when we saw him beaten. I mean, literally beaten. And then we were told we could not believe our own eyes, and we did not get justice. And so today is very special. Something very special has happened. But when I talk about why it is so important for us to have diversity and inclusion, it is because of Keith Ellison, who is the district attorney, to the degree that we get more people in these positions of power, particularly in the criminal justice system, we're going to be able to get more justice. And so, of course, I'm criticized all the time. And of course, the Republicans make a target of me. But as you know, I am passionate on these issues, having lived with them so long, having seen so much injustice. And so I'm delighted that we have the verdict that we got today. I could not believe it, but it is absolutely true. And I'm looking forward to elected officials using their influence and their power, and for our city council people who have budgets of these police, who have been intimidated by these police unions, seeing that it is possible to do right, do what is right, and to honor, the community by not just rolling over because they're intimidated by the police union and afraid that they won't get elected. You've got that budget. You give them their raises. You're responsible for their benefits. You give them all that overtime pay. Now it's time to use that power. And so I'm just pleased that I still feel strong enough and able enough to go out with the young people and say, Auntie Maxine is here, and I support you, and I want you to be activists. I'm so sorry that it causes pain, oftentimes with my colleagues. Many times they're in these districts where they're frightened, where they have a lot of racism, where they still haven't moved to the point where they can have a decent conversation about these issues. And sometimes it's very difficult for them, but they stood up with me today. They put me up for censure because of my visit to Minneapolis. And my colleagues stood with me, and they voted to table the motion that was put up to censor me, because the Republicans love to use me as a target. They raise money on my backs. That's that Maxine Waters, that Black woman who is so uppity and who is someone we can't control. And so you've got to make sure that I have enough money to keep her from getting reelected.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.